welcome to Critical Strike, episode 16. I'm Josh Bignell, and here with me today is Keith Harbort.
I like violence, loud noises, and Jessica Alba.
And Kyle Dumont.
Bork, bork, bork.
Swedish chef. Pork.
He wants the pork Jessica Alba.
No. God damn it. You guys don't know who the Swedish chef is?
Yeah, but that's the Muppets. That's
Muppets?
like 20 years ago.
Jim Henson? All he says is bork, bork, bork.
How old are you?
What? I watched the Muppet Show.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not 50 years old, but I still watch the Muppet Show.
Alright, Kyle, kick it off. What have you been up to?
I actually just beat Mass Effect about 3 hours ago. Very satisfied with that game. I purchased
Frame rate aside?
Frame rate issues aside. It was pretty funny because there were frame rate issues while the credits were scrolling at the end of the game. But regardless.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought 2 new DS games. I bought Days of Ruin, the new Advance Wars game for the DS, and I also purchased the 40K game. Crap, I forgot the hell it's called. It's the Warhammer 40K game. I just can't recall the specific title. It's a strategic kind of battlefield game. Not so happy with the latter, but Days of Ruin is pretty good so far.
See, I've heard quite a few complaints about it, though.
Really? I've heard nothing but good things.
Well, people are saying, like, there's some good things, but then they miss a lot of things that they took out from the other ones.
I really haven't gotten that far. I'm only on, like, the 6th mission. So, I suppose I have to play a bit more. That's pretty much what I've been doing. Oh, school started, so I've been going to class. So that's been fun.
Being a good little schoolgirl.
Yep.
Alright, Keith, what do you got?
I've been playing this cool new game called KDE 4 on OpenSUSE. Let's see. Played a little Forza Motorsport 2 this week. Finished a couple more events. I don't think I'm ever going to finish this game because some of those endurance races are just insanely long.
At least you're enjoying it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I played something that's
rare for you.
Out of the ordinary. Watched this week's episode of Lost. Watched some back episodes of Top Gear. Last weekend I watched the 24-hour race at Daytona. That's about it.
You really like racing, don't you?
I do.
Keith is a redneck.
Well, I can't wait till Formula 1 starts. No, I don't like redneck racing. I do not watch NASCAR. I watch Formula 1 and touring car racing. That's about it. What have you been up to, Josh?
Well, I kind of went on a Call of Duty 4 kick because...
Did you?
Everybody else I saw was playing the single player, so I finally decided to play the single player.
You're such a sheep.
After Keith gave me so much shit for buying the game and not playing it, like, single player. Well,
yep.
I beat it. It is done.
Took you long enough.
What'd you think of the ending?
The ending was really good, actually.
Yeah.
When the guy slid his gun over to you, and, well, spoiler alert, and you had to pop those 3 guys in the head, that was really good.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Indeed. Wow, we actually agree on something.
And I got plenty of achievements.
You are an achievement whore.
It was very epic and cinematic. That all the like the screen, not the screen stuff, but the cutscenes were really good, really well done in that game.
Yeah, they were. Makes you want to play it again too.
Yeah, I kind of did want to go back and play it again. Like, All Gillied Up and Death from Above are clearly my favorite, like, single player levels.
Those were excellent levels.
Yep.
Death from Above especially. I mean, just the point of view you're shooting from and just the godlike power you have.
Well, All Gillied Up was really cool, too. Like, when you had to, like, duck down and cover while all the guys were walking around with the tanks and everything. That was just really cool.
And hard.
I did it first try.
Well, you weren't doing it right then.
Well, damn it. But, yeah, anyways, I beat Call of Duty 4 single player, so Keith can't give me any problems anymore.
I can. I'll just find another topic to give you shit about.
And then I played Call of Duty 4 multiplayer, unlike Keith.
Oh, please. Would you stop? We've already talked about my latency issues.
That's not my problem, bitch.
Get better internet.
I'll get right on that.
Get some FiOS.
At least you can get through the tutorial, I suppose. But, yeah. Played Call of Duty 4, and then I went on a Street Fighter 2 kick.
Why do you even play that game? Please, tell me.
Because Street Fighter 2 is amazing.
Have you gone into a tournament for that?
No, I haven't.
You should.
Why?
You could probably win some money.
It's not my thing. But,
Kyle, I have to ask you. I don't mean to interrupt. Well, actually, I do. Kyle, don't you think that Street Fighter 2 to Josh is the equivalent of masturbation to an adolescent boy?
Yeah, I would have to say. That's a pretty accurate description.
He's not really getting anywhere, and it's just self-gratification.
Well, I mean, he's probably already developed calluses, on his wing-dang doodle.
Yeah, and just like masturbation, he does it multiple times a day.
4 times, actually.
I think he's a masturbation addict.
What else you been doing, Josh?
But no, in Street Fighter 2, I played with some of our friends, Thrillhouse17, Chia Hippo, and Mick. And it was fun. We all had some good matches, back and forth.
Who won? Who won the majority of the matches?
I'm not going to put it out there that I won the majority of the matches.
You told me you spanked them.
No.
Win all of them?
The
No,
numbers you told me were tantamount to spanking the crap out of them.
Look, I'm trying to break my ego problems with this game.
Just the game? Not like
Yeah.
with life or, people you deal with on a regular basis?
I know, Christ.
No, I didn't spank them. They gave me some good matches. It was a really good time, though.
I think you need to check your ego in the real world before you start doing it online on video games.
I think you need to shut the fuck up, you little bitch.
Transition music.
No. And then I played Pixel Junk Monsters for the PlayStation 3. It is a downloadable game,
That's not what I heard.
and it's like 10... What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Shut up. It's...
Pixel Junk Monsters?
Yeah, it's a downloadable game, and it's like
It's a remake.
$10. It's like tower defense type game. But
From everything I've heard, tower defense is a lot better.
All I can think of are monsters with pixelated penises.
actually, I would say that this is a lot better than any form of tower defense. There's just more to it.
I heard there was a lot of frustration factor in the way they built the levels.
It's not so much frustration, actually, because, like, when you fail the level, you don't... at least I don't get pissed off about it. Like, I was like, oh, well, I could have done this differently.
Isn't that the point of failing? Is that you need to do something differently?
Well, Keith, you know me, and I don't fail very often.
I know you, and you're used to failure. That's why you don't get pissed off anymore.
True. Fail. But I played the Devil May Cry 4 demo.
I think we all did.
Keith did.
I didn't.
Didn't you? Oh, your issues.
I would have to turn something on, wouldn't I?
I suppose you would. No, you could get on the PS3.
Yeah, but I'd have to... Oh, I boot to Linux every time I turn that on.
But yeah, I'm not too impressed with Devil May Cry 4.
The boss fight with the fire demon was pretty awesome.
It was pretty full of fail.
I thought it was fun.
Anyways, I picked up a Burnout Paradise for the PlayStation 3.
What kind of game is that?
It's a destroy everything game.
Like driving?
Maybe.
Because that's the kind of game that Kyle absolutely hates, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like driving games. I think they're pointless. If you want to play a driving game, just go out and drive your car.
You cannot drive your car to the limit without crashing it and wasting a lot of money.
Not really. You must be a shitty driver then.
No, because you can't predict what's going to happen on any given road on any given day. Little kids might run out in front of you.
Well, anyways, gentlemen, Burnout...
Why would you be driving in a residential area redlining your car?
You may have realized that in America there are little kids everywhere.
They're very squishy.
And their parents don't watch them very closely. That's why we have to have
don't.
people watching the video game industry to keep them from producing games that are ultra-violent murder simulators.
Or ultra sexy.
Yeah.
So,
What were you saying, Josh?
yeah.
Burnout Paradise.
Burnout Paradise. I don't know. Like I liked Burnout Revenge for the 360, and this one I feel like they spent more time with the graphics than they did the actual gameplay, like making it fun. It feels more shallow than anything. Like you drive around the city, the DJ's talking, and it's like, well, I guess I'll do an event.
Wait, Shallow's good?
No, shallow's bad.
Oh.
I mean, it's a very pretty game. Like I have it on the PS3, so it's up on my HD. Yeah, it's all right, I suppose.
It's not my cup of tea.
Certainly not Kyle's cup of tea.
Nope. However, my cup of tea has been changing on Revenant Wings. I've been playing that again on my hour-long bus ride to school.
I'm finally starting to like it.
It's gotten noticeably better.
So basically, what you're saying is I was right and you were wrong.
Not yet. Probably next podcast you'll be right and I'll be wrong.
So basically, what you're saying is you're full of fail and I'm full of win.
No, not at this point in time. I can neither confirm nor deny the presence of wind in either party.
So we're actually going to try something a little different for once, and
Very
replace,
different.
yeah, and replace this episode's top 5 with a little thing like talking about ourselves, because I've been talking to quite a few people who listen, and they don't actually know much about us, which isn't really too much of a surprise. We're all kind of private people.
You talk about your privates all the time.
I know, constantly, in fact.
All right, I'm the only one who's not really private.
Or at least I talk about your privates.
In public to all the girls at school.
Yeah. I say it's laughably small.
It's not his fault, though. I mean, it's genetic.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of hung like a gorilla, considering, what he is. Sasquatch.
And what am I, Kyle?
You're Sasquatch.
Oh, son of a bitch. All right, to make that known, before the podcast, I said no Yeti comments. So, of course, Kyle being Kyle. Apparently now I'm a Sasquatch.
They are one and the same, and I think you just banned yourself from the podcast.
Fuck.
You said the word.
I did. All right, well, Kyle, kick it off. Tell the world a little bit about yourself.
I am a 22-year-old full-time college student, full-time worker. My time is generally spent attempting not to die, going from my apartment to school to work and back to my apartment again.
And why would you die?
Oh, I live in Philadelphia, and working and going to school full-time is a bit taxing on your body.
And you make eye contact with people you shouldn't.
Yes, and they'll stab you. Or stalk you to your apartment and then make security come out to escort them outside.
So what you're saying is I need to pay these people to take you out.
Yeah, you could probably just give them a burger. They're hungry. Usually. Or just needing booze. Anyway, what time that I do have on the weekends or late at night, I generally play video games. I'm generally more of a handheld player because I'm generally constantly in transit from one place to another. So my DS generally gets a lot of play. So most of the games that I've purchased or play are either portable games or just, I guess portable games. I kind of killed my speech with that word, but oh well.
Have you thought about getting a PSP?
I have. There are a lot of good strategy games, especially from Square, that are coming out on the PSP. Especially the revamped Tactics, which I really want.
And then there's what is it, G&D Arc or whatever?
Yeah, Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah, I don't know. I have it, actually.
How is it?
I forgot to mention that I have that.
Why would you mention that you have it if you never play it?
No, I played it once, a couple times actually.
It doesn't count.
At work. It's alright. I don't know. I don't think it's my cup of tea.
What is it with you two and your tea?
That's the second time you've used that.
It's not your cup of Kool-Aid.
Wait, what?
Not your cup of Java.
He drinks the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. It's amazing!
The majority of the games that I play are games that have a lot of plot and a lot of depth. So, games like Mass Effect, any RPG in general, have like a lot of equipment micromanaging, a lot of ability micromanaging, a lot of thought and how to use certain characters to their full extent. And I play a lot of tabletop games. You could say I'm the quintessential nerd. And
I was actually just about to call you a nerd.
Yeah, earlier today, I actually a bunch of friends of mine got together, and I created a tabletop version of Final Fantasy 1. It was surprisingly difficult to create, but it worked. I was actually pretty proud of myself.
What do you mean by created?
Like, I used the information, like basic stats from Final Fantasy 1. Like, a fighter has this much strength and this much agility and has this much hit percentage, and this is how it progresses through the levels. And then I applied a system that I custom created for it, and we played.
Oh, I thought maybe you meant you were using like salt and pepper shakers and silverware. Just kidding.
No, you don't play tabletop games? You really... You seem the type.
Oh, see, now you just put me in the nerd category. I shun you nerds. I shun the nerds.
You are a nerd. You put Linux on your freak... You
That's geek.
changed the
That's
Linux
not
on your
nerd.
PS3.
Yeah,
No.
there's a difference.
Alright, we're going to save the nerd talk
Aw.
for Keith's segment.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Who?
Which one, me or Keith?
You, Kyle. Proceed.
Okay. Proceeding. I spend a lot of my other free time not playing video games by reading. I have a pretty expansive library, considering I move about every other year. So
Wait. I have to interrupt you real quick. I'm not going to throw you too far off track. You read books?
I read a lot of books.
And you use a Mac?
Yeah.
Steve Jobs says people don't read books anymore.
I have about a gig of ebooks on my laptop alone, and I have about probably close to 200 books in my possession.
You're a heretic then.
Heretic?
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself more of a romantic.
Romantic heretic, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I'll accept that. That pretty much sums me up.
We're doing this segment all wrong, you know.
Am I?
No, not you, personally. I think the three of us are. It should be...
How?
I get to talk about Josh. Josh gets to talk about you, and then you get to talk about me, since you know the least about me. That way, I get the least exposure. But I get to say the most about Josh.
Well, I think that's crap. Because I could just make up so much shit. For
All right,
instance,
we
I could call you a pedophile.
We could just
I
both
could
talk
call
about
you a
Josh.
serial rapist.
Yeah, you guys can both talk about me after mine. I don't care.
Well, okay. I really don't have many bad things to say about you, except that you're kind of a demi-human. But that's not really a flaw. It's just an interesting thing about you.
It's a genetic fact.
Kyle, shut up. Keith, go.
I'm a 36-year-old living in Ohio.
Jesus Christ.
I know, Ohio's awesome. I
You're
like
36.
sports. Yes, I'm old. I'm ancient. Sports, video games, computers, Linux, obviously. Women, unlike Kyle. Some of my favorite movies include
I
Snatch,
have a girlfriend
Apocalypse
sitting
Now.
right next to me at this moment.
Why is it all about you, Kyle?
AKA, it's the girl that Kyle went out and drugged and then, like, wrapped up in bubble wrap and put next to his bed.
Wasn't it a home invasion? That's what he was actually talking about, is when he breaks into other people's apartments. Moving on.
Poor Kyle.
Some of my favorite bands are Tool, Nine Inch Nails, Foo Fighters, Perfect Circle. Obviously, I talk a lot about racing games. That's my favorite genre of video game. I don't play as many video games as I used to. I still pick up a game now and then. Just finished Call of Duty 4 most recently. That was an awesome game. Generally, I'm not into first-person shooters, but ironically, I've played two of the biggest first-person shooters of last year, or in the last 6 months, Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4, so I can't really say I'm not.
Props for proper use of ironic.
Thank you. What else? I own a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. I just sold my Wii to my brother because he has 2 young daughters. He's going to get a lot more use out of it than I ever did.
Hey, that's for later.
No, it's for right now. But anyway, I have a PSP Fat, so unfortunately I can't put Skype on it. Not that I would probably want to upgrade my firmware anyway, because, who does that? Other than that, there's not a lot I want to say about myself. I'm a very private person. I don't like talking about myself.
Hasn't the new PSP firmware already been cracked anyway, so it didn't really matter if you upgrade?
I don't know.
Kyle, we don't talk about or condone such things.
At least not publicly.
I'm just saying as a general topic.
Yeah, at least not publicly.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. I wash after I pee.
Yeah, there's some interesting comments about that, actually.
How come I never see these? I would like to see this.
We'd like you to wash after you pee.
Yeah, well, most of them was like, wouldn't it be easier to just leave your laptop there and go to the bathroom?
Not really, because then I have to disconnect everything and take off my headset and...
Yeah, it's easier to pull off your headset than it is to carry your laptop to the bathroom.
No, it's not.
If I remember correctly, though, Josh, you asked him to take us with him.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Alright, I'm going to release all the raw data from last podcast. So
You only have your little bit of data.
Oh, you
I
get to
have
hear a
Kyle's too.
dramatic reading of Jock Bicknell's,
you can't even say my
blog.
name right, you fucking hippie.
I'm sorry.
That was the best
What am
part
I,
of the
Jock
podcast.
Bicknell?
I rarely say your last name.
Oh, yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention. I blog a lot.
And where can your blog be found?
InfiniteTides.net. I only say that because now Josh has to mention his blog.
Oh, fuck. Yes, my name is Josh Picknell. I am 26. And I'm probably one of the bigger video game fanatics on here.
Size-wise.
Actually. And by size, you mean my penis.
No, I meant
Or
your
physical
actual
size.
Physical size. Your girth.
My ego. Let's see. I don't really do much other than work and play video games these days, actually. It's kind of sad. It's kind of my thing, though. It's just, I go out, work, come home, play games, sleep, go to work, come home,
You're leaving out
what I
complain
do.
about work, complain about other shit.
I don't complain about work.
Yeah, you do.
No, I
You
don't.
email me at work saying, "Oh my god, I'm so fucking busy and the power went out and it smoked a program I was working on and it got corrupted." And yeah,
If you're going to say it, at least say it how I said it.
I don't remember how you said it.
You never send me emails when you're at work. I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of the interaction here.
Wait a minute, I email you and you don't email me back.
That's true, actually, Kyle. We'll all email you and you never, reply to us.
Because some of the things don't deserve a reply.
That's not true.
Basically, me and Keith will, talk throughout the whole night through email. And Kyle, you don't fit in.
Because I have a life outside of video
Yeah, so
games.
it's your fault. Don't blame
We don't
us.
talk about video games.
I don't know. I think it's kind of creepy spending my entire night with a bunch of older guys.
You'll get
Not
used
my
to it.
sister.
And not your sister?
Yeah, I'm not my sister.
Oh.
Well, anyways, gentlemen, some of my Favorite bands are Dream Theater, Pain of Salvation, Camelot, Nine Inch Nails, The Misfits, Typo Negative, The Mini Bosses, The Neskimos, and The Black Mages.
And Kermit the Frog.
Dude, Kermit the Frog is fucking awesome.
I agree. I'm not putting Kermit the Frog down. I just think he deserves an honorable mention.
I'm not so big on Kermit the Frog.
You used to be.
Shit, I really want to watch The Labyrinth now.
Pan's Labyrinth or The Labyrinth?
The Labyrinth.
I don't know what that is.
Some of my favorite movies are Final Fantasy Advent Children.
Excellent.
Living Dead.
Fanboy.
What?
You're a fanboy.
No, it's an excellent movie. What are you talking about?
That was a good movie. How am I a fanboy?
As a movie, it was okay. As a Final Fantasy movie, it was freaking awesome.
Anyway, some of my favorite games are Mega Man 3, Final Fantasy 6, and Street Fighter 2.
Great game.
It is a great game.
For people who like masturbating.
Although I'm kind of also like a beginning anime nerd. I mean, I used to like anime a long time ago, but now I'm kind of starting to get back into it. Which Kyle actually is more of an anime nerd than I am.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention about that. I don't know. I haven't really watched anything in about 3 years.
Why don't you tell them which ones you listen to, Josh? Or watch them, sorry.
Well, lately I've just been watching Bleach and Naruto. But some of my other favorites are the Dot Hack Sign series and Hellsing.
Did you see the OVA?
No.
You should. It's pretty good.
Why would I want to watch anything that you suggest?
Alright, it's cool. Don't trust me or anything.
Kyle, why do you want him to drink your tea?
Why would I trust you when you can't even wash your hands?
Because the OVA is a retelling of the story that fits more to the manga than the original animated series did.
Okay, enough nerd talk.
Alright, so do you want to do that thing where you talk about me now then?
Yeah. Josh got me into Dot Hack Signs, and he got me into Bleach. And I've actually kept up with Bleach.
Shit, you watch anime?
Really liked it a lot, yeah. See, if you'd ever email me back, you might know a little bit about me. But no, you don't.
I'll send you a list of things that you should watch.
You're out living your life.
Yeah, I am.
And actually, I would like to say that I met Keith back from Ultima Online from a server that I used to run. He used to be one of the players that I would torment.
Yep. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say torment. I was usually bored anyway.
There were some that I used to torment, though.
Yep.
You can't deny that.
They were dicks, and they deserved it.
Yeah, it's true. And I met Kyle from, what was it?
Nick.
From Nick.
On Vent, because I wandered into your Vent server, and you guys were like, who are you?
And then you logged off, and then came back. Yeah, so I met Kyle through Nick, who used to be on the podcast.
So we have Nick to blame.
Yeah, and this is basically our story. I think now people will know more about us.
Yeah. And Keith met me also on Vent when I had a very, very bad
Hiccups.
episode of the hiccups.
It was hilarious.
It's incredibly painful. For the listeners, my sternum actually has kind of a crack in it. So if I hiccup or cough violently, my ribs actually crack and cause me quite a amount of pain. So when I hiccup, it's like I get punched in the chest. Which Josh finds infinitely hilarious.
It's funny because you say ow after every hiccup.
Actually, I don't really find it too hilarious.
Yes, you were the one that was laughing.
Yeah, you were laughing hysterically every time I get hiccups. In fact, you wanted me to record a hiccuping episode so you could put it on the podcast.
I think I might have even been recording that, but you told me I couldn't use it on anything. I don't have it anymore.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah. Piss.
So the more you guys listen to us, the more you'll get to know us and hate us.
I don't think it's possible to hate us any more than most people actually do.
I think you'd be surprised.
Welcome back, and now it's time to discuss the Video Game Music Challenge, even though there's not much to discuss, actually. There was no winner for last week's, but it was Super Mario Galaxy. The new game for the Wii that I hated, actually.
That's why I didn't know it, but it sounded vaguely familiar.
I don't think I even listened to it. Oh wait, I edited it. Never mind.
It was actually a good song. It was like a remake version of the one from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh, I knew it was Super Mario Bros. 3, but I thought it was just like an OC remix version of it.
No, they actually used that in Mario Galaxy.
Oh, I remember that now. That was actually a pretty good song.
But yeah, we're not going to do a video game music challenge this week because Kyle sucks and he doesn't want to do one.
Wait, that wasn't the reason?
I agree.
Yeah, it was.
I agree. Kyle sucks.
Fuck, I hate being a scapegoat.
Alright, Keith, earlier you were talking about something.
I was talking about selling my Wii. I've been talking about it off and on for the last 2 or 3 months. Basically, I've just become pissed off at Nintendo and sick with the idea that I went and bought a Wii on day one when it was released, launched, whatever you want to call it.
But actually, I would still like to say that I bought mine on launch day before you did.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. I pre-ordered mine. I could have gone and picked it up earlier, but I didn't. That's irrelevant. Basically, I sold my Wii because there are really no games that I want to play on the Wii. There are no games that I foresee coming out in the near future that I want to play on the Wii. And basically everything I played on the Wii was things that other people really enjoyed playing when they would come visit. Like my sister would love playing Wii Sports and Super WarioWare, Smooth Moves. Same thing with my nieces. I mean, they like those games. And my nephew, Nick.
If your nieces and nephew really like Smooth Moves, they should get the GameCube version. It's a lot more fun.
We're talking about me and why I'm selling my Wii, not why my nieces should go out and get a GameCube that's defunct.
I'm sorry.
Why should they go buy a defunct console to play Smooth Moves?
They don't.
When their dad just
what?
bought my Wii from me. Anyway, the point is, the Nintendo Wii really isn't for me. And I think there are probably a lot of gamers, even casual gamers like myself, that are just kind of sick of Nintendo and the attitude that they seem to be taking towards their third-party game producers.
I'm actually kind of really shocked, though, because I remember you were the most excited about that console.
That's true. And my expectations quickly fell through the floor when I found out that nothing with any online capability was even coming out until next year. Well, 2008 now.
What? There's a couple of online games.
What online games came out last year?
Pokemon?
Mario Strikers and Pokemon Battle Revolution.
F both of those games.
And Madden.
F. Oh, please. I am not going to play Madden with the goddamn Wiimote. That's just retarded. If I wanted to go throw the football around, I would go throw a football around outside because I'm actually coordinated enough to do that. I'm not going to pick up a piece of plastic and pretend I'm throwing a football in the house. It's dumb.
Speaking of Wiimotes and such, did you see the terrible patent ideas that Nintendo had for the Wiimote?
No.
There's a Wiimote slot inside of a teddy bear, a Wiimote slot inside of a pedal of like a bike.
Oh my gosh.
All
Actually,
just
I would
really-
like that.
It's all no.
Yeah, I would
What?
like that though. I bicycle a lot, so a lot of times when I'm playing video games, I'm actually riding a bike in the living room, exercising at the same time. I shouldn't say that about myself, but go ahead. What else?
Alright, well, it's kind of sad that
I just
you
kind
got rid
of.
of the console, though. I mean,
Not
I'm sure there
really.
was going to be eventually something for it that you would have wanted.
Not really. I mean, I wasn't even interested in Smash Brothers Brawl. I mean, it just everything I was hearing about it, it just was like one minor disappointment after another. Like they didn't quite have the online stuff worked out even. I mean,
Well, that wouldn't be your thing anyways. You're not into fighters, if you can even call Brawl a fighter.
I don't know what you'd call it, but something like that, I can see myself playing online and enjoying it with friends. But because their friend code thing is so fucking janky and unworkable, it's retarded.
Alright, so from there, are there any games that in the future either of you would like to see made into like an Xbox Live Arcade or PlayStation Network downloadable title? Like, because they've taken games like Catan and Carcassonne that Kyle loves, and Street Fighter for me, Geometry Wars for Keith, and they've taken some of the older games, remade them with newer style graphics, slapped on some online that actually works out pretty damn well, and sold them for like $10 or $8. And these are pretty good games. So is there any of these types of games that you would like to see given this type of treatment?
Honestly, I would like to see more German board games. Or just more board games in general. The way Live is able to support all the players, it's generally pretty good. I mean, Nancy really liked playing Uno on it. She's almost gotten me 200 points. Just one achievement away. I really enjoy playing Carcassonne. I really like playing Catan. It's just, I would just like to see more board games.
That's it? Just more board games?
More board games, and
Can't you play board games on a computer, though? I mean, is there really any point? It's just you like Live that much that you'd rather play it on a console?
well, since I have a Mac, most of the internet games aren't too friendly. Like, I can't just go onto Yahoo Games and play Catan with a bunch of people, because everything requires Internet Explorer or Windows.
Well, I look at it as like, on PlayStation Network, like I said earlier, they just came out with Pixel Junk Monsters. And that is a take on Tower Defense, which is a Flash-based game.
Yeah, I can't believe you'd pay any money for that.
Well, they added a bunch of stuff to it, and it's actually really, really fun, dude. Seriously.
But essentially, it's just a Flash game.
But it's better than the Flash game.
How?
They added a lot more to it.
It's like Worms on the Xbox Live Arcade. I watched my friend Mark play that, and it's like, you paid money for that? Why? I mean, they're better. I've seen so many better Flash-based games on the PC or on the
But
internet.
Worms isn't a Flash game.
I'm saying I've seen better Flash games. I'm not saying I've seen games that. What I'm saying is you can play more fun, better, more well thought out games that look better online for free than some of the crap I've seen on Xbox Live.
Alright, Keith, so what games would you like to see get the Live or PlayStation Network treatment?
Tecmo Bowl.
Wow, that's weird. I was just thinking that. That's so weird.
Give it the 2.5D treatment.
Yeah. I mean, it's the game from my youth that I know I would love to play again in a more modern. You got to have all the modern players. Maybe even have a lot of the throwback uniforms, a lot of the old time players, the Hall of Famers.
Online play.
Online play. I mean, that game was so much fun, and it's not just the nostalgic memories that I have of playing it. I just know that in my heart, that is a game I want to see modernized and put out again.
Yeah, Tecmo Bowl would really be awesome to have on Xbox Live Arcade. That would be worth $10.
Absolutely.
Are there any others you'd like to see?
I'd have to think about it, but that one just really stands out in my mind.
And Kyle, you just want to see more board games?
I want to see more board games and a lot. Like I said before on an earlier podcast, the old Sierra adventure games, like Robin Hood.
Leisure Suit Larry?
No, not Leisure Suit Larry. Did Sierra even come out with that?
Yeah.
How about Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego on Google
That
Maps
would be kind of fun.
with a Google Maps tie-in?
Actually, that'd be kind of fun.
It would.
For about 5 minutes.
Well, everybody would be cheating with their interwebs and looking things up.
Yeah,
Find out where she lives.
on Google, thus ruining the point.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see like King's Quest or Space Quest. Just give it throw on some better graphics, add like a scoreboard, I guess, and a leaderboard on live. See how many points you can kind of accumulate.
All right.
I think I can think of one or two. There
All right.
are two games that Max has put out, and one of them's very famous. It's called SimCity. But I would like to see it online and interactive. In other words, you could have cities that are like rival cities in the same area.
I think there was one similar on the PC, actually.
Really?
SimCity Network, yeah.
Well, that'd be kind of cool. But the other one I was thinking of is more along the lines of Spore. And I don't know if you guys ever played Sim Earth. But Sim Earth, you started with a planet that was habitable, or nearly habitable, because it rotated, the right distance from the sun, and it was the right size. But you had to terraform the planet, and you had to make the situation more habitable for life to evolve. And at some point, if you were really good at what you were doing, you could get your species to become sentient, and then eventually they would, blast off and colonize other planets. But it would be kind of cool to have that, but in an online universe.
That game sounds awesome.
Yeah, but that type of game, would that translate to a controller pretty well? I don't really know how that would work.
It could. Essentially, it's a strategy game.
It could work like, what the hell was that game called? It was on the SNES. Oh, fuck, what the hell was it called? They're coming out with a new one.
Final Fantasy VI?
No.
You're close.
Oh shit, I can't believe I can't remember that name.
While you think about that, Piss Pants, and I'll go on with what I want to see. Obviously, I'd like to see Tecmo Bowl Keith, because Tecmo Bowl would just be amazing.
I thought you were saying because Keith is right, and he's cool.
Because Keith is right. Because you are definitely right. Tecmo Bowl would make a great Xbox Live Arcade or PlayStation Network downloadable game. That would just be sweet. Another one of mine would be Descent from the PC. Not really having to have new graphics or anything. I thought the graphics were good, and they held up alright.
Really?
That would be freaking awesome. I love Descent.
I don't know. I think that game would need an upgrade.
Alright, well, then give it an upgrade, but definitely add online play. That would be badass.
What would you do online?
I would kill people.
Don't we have enough of those games already?
No.
Yes, we do.
I need more murder simulators.
That's not a murder simulator.
Populous. Populous is what I'm thinking
I've
about.
never heard of Populous.
I've heard of it. I just never played it. But it wasn't online. See, I'm thinking
No, it wasn't.
You'd be in a universe where you would not see anyone, and they wouldn't see you until eventually you build up your civilization to a certain point, and then maybe you'd receive like radio transmissions, like from other civilizations on other planets that had reached that point where they were. Anyway, it's very nerdy. What other games were you thinking of?
Another game that I would like to see would be WrestleFest, the old arcade game.
What is that?
Yeah, what the hell is WrestleFest?
Please tell me.
WWF.
Ah, no.
Yeah.
Professional
It's a
wrestling?
game. Yeah.
That's so gay.
But dude, that game was awesome.
Wrestling is gay.
You're gay.
No, I'm not. But wrestling is. It's like, all right, big, sweaty, steroid-induced, muscle-bound dorks hugging each other and hitting each other with chairs. How is that not gay?
Speaking of, American Gladiators, Monday.
Horrible.
Awesome.
Horrible show.
Horrible.
Awesome.
Kyle, shut up.
If you have the attention span of a gnat, that's an awesome show.
But WrestleFest would be so sweet, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
And then
if they brought back like all the old time wrestlers like Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Jesse the Body Ventura, Hulk Hogan.
Well, WrestleFest had Hulk Hogan, Earthquake, Demolition, Legion of Doom, Jake the Snake,
The Undertaker.
$1 Million Man. No, that was before The Undertaker.
Just slightly, I think.
Yeah. But it had like the old classic guys that you used to like. You grew up watching.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up
I
watching.
did too.
You were like 50 by the time that came out.
I didn't like wrestling when I was a kid.
You still don't wrestle with girls.
Uh, yeah, but that would be pretty sweet. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2.
Wait, what?
Yep.
For what reason?
It was a great fighter.
That's too recent.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
Didn't they do...
That came out, what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, that's pretty freaking recent.
No, longer than that,
SNK
7 years
vs.
ago.
Capcom came out in like 2000. Marvel vs. Capcom came out in like 97 or 98.
So 7 years and 9 years. That's pretty recent.
But, well, I would like to see them give it the treatment where they add online play to it and you can download it. Dude, that game would be so pimp. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm not saying I wouldn't like it or it would suck. I'm just saying that those games really aren't that old.
Well, I would like to see it. And this is what I would like to see.
Josh, you could finally see how good you are at Marvel vs. Capcom.
I already know how good I am. I remember I played with all the other guys.
Who? Dave and Nick?
And Chris.
And Chris? It's a small pool.
Dude, I'm the one that made Nick squeal like a little girl for an hour.
Small pond. You'd be a big fish in a small. You're a big fish in a small pond.
And I don't care about how good I am. I just like to have fun in these games. God.
He did not have a sense of pride.
Well, going from Marvel vs. Capcom, then I'm gonna talk about something else real quick. Then is that Videogamer.com did an interview with one of the developers from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix.
Longest title ever.
Oh my god, could that be any freaking longer?
Well, anyways, that game was announced about a year ago, and it still hasn't come out. Why? And it still hasn't come out. And I was always wondering why it never really came out, or you haven't heard anything about it. Well, come to find out that they're having problems with Microsoft's size limit for Xbox Live Arcade games. If you didn't know that Microsoft has a limit of how big the games have to be, or can be, before they release them. Like, the limit used to be 50 megabytes, and they had to up that for Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Which, even then, that game still doesn't have all the movies and stuff that it had. So it's still a very stripped down version compared to the PlayStation 3 one.
What is a man?
Yeah. But now the limit, I believe, is like at 128 megabytes, I believe. And they're still having a problem getting this game to fit under that size.
You know what they should do? Instead of it being SSF2THDR, it should just be SSF2TR. Get rid of the HD and shoot a lower res out the window.
Well, I think there's already a Street Fighter 2 remix.
Okay, then we don't need this, do we?
Well, shut up. Basically, though, like, the PlayStation 3 version is being delayed because of the fucking Xbox.
Yeah, but you're going to see a lot of that, though, now.
Microsoft, I can't believe they have that limit on there, like, because they made the dumb decision not to include hard drives in all their consoles now. They have to have limits on downloadable content.
Yep. But isn't that part of the dilemma that the console manufacturers... That's the risk they take when they don't get exclusive content. I mean, if they would just fork over some cash, they could have got it. Well, I'm not saying this particular game would have been exclusive to one or the other, but they, arguably could have said, for this much money, would you consider this being on our console only? Then we don't have to wait until it's ready for the other console.
Well, I don't want to see this exclusive because I want to test out which one works best with each controller's D-pad. Because you've heard me bitch about the 360 D-pad a lot.
I've heard you bitch about a lot of things a lot. It's hard for me to remember everything you've bitched about.
Yeah, seriously.
Fuck both of you.
Thank you.
Little bitches.
No, I'm just saying that, it's been rumored that the new Grand Theft Auto has been delayed somewhat due to PlayStation 3 issues. So, it goes both ways.
But that's the developer having a hard time programming on it. Look at Burnout Paradise. The PS3 version is flawless, whereas the 360 one has a little bit of problems.
Okay, but I'm just saying, in a two-console world, you have to expect that a lot of these developers are going to have issues. They're either going to make it primarily for one console or the other, and the other one's going to take a little more time, or there are going to be delays for some other reason, in this case, due to the size limitations.
But that has nothing to do with programming for a game. This has to do with a stupid size limit that they need to get rid of.
In your opinion, it's an arbitrary limit, but to them, they're thinking, well, we don't want to limit who can purchase this game to those who were smart enough to later buy a console that had a hard drive. They don't want to screw a lot of the people who bought the console early over. I'm not saying I agree with them at all. I'm just saying I see where they're coming from.
Well, also in the interview, the developer said that both controllers have shitty D-pads.
Who uses the D-pad?
Well, I do in Street Fighter.
I don't use the D-pad for any game I own.
But the PlayStation 3 one is a little bit better.
I take that back. You'd use the D-pad for some things in Call of Duty 4. Like night vision and stuff like that.
Well, I guess that's about it. Keith, do you got any shoutouts?
I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Bill, my nephew Nick, and I think that's it.
Piss Pants? Got anything?
Shout out to Nancy, I guess.
That's it?
I guess that's it.
Alright, I'd like to give a shout out to the XBL Radio guys for having me on their Point 5 show. That was fun. Even though you couldn't hear me.
I tried to hear, but, it sounded like...
Technical problems.
It sounded like all you guys were sitting in jet fighters, like talking back and forth about video games.
Well, I ended up being on their show for as a fill-in. I mean, so I can't really complain. It was fun either way. Although I had a really nasty cold.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, well, I guess it kind of worked out for me. So that's about it. Please head over to the iTunes Music Store and give us a review. Kyle would really appreciate that.
Give us a good review.
Give us a good review.
Give us a well-written review. I don't care if it's good or bad. I just want something well-written.
I don't care if it's written like an orc. I mean, as long as they say we like Keith Harbort, Kyle Dumont, and that Josh guy, I mean, that's fine.
Josh guy.
Why am I left out?
You're not left out. I said that Josh guy.
Because you gave yourself 2 votes for the fail trophy.
Oh, yeah, Kyle, thanks for reminding me. For this episode, the fail trophy is going once again to Kyle Dumont.
Oh, I tricked you. It's the fail award. Oh.
I don't know. I think Josh gets the fail award because he failed to mention that there was a fail award and that you were going to get it. So therefore, I think Josh gets it this week.
I think Josh should get it because not only for that, but he said the forbidden word on the podcast.
He did say the forbidden word.
Fine. You know what? I'll take it. I will give myself the fail award.
Well, we already gave it to you. You can't give it to yourself now.
Yeah,
but it's my thing.
Not anymore. We took it from you and crammed it where the sun doesn't shine.
What is this shit?
It's a revolt. We're sick of your tyranny.
It's called a critical strike.
Consider yourself critically stricken?
I believe we're done.
Yeah. So we will see you guys, or we will talk to you guys in 2 weeks.
That's right. Wash your hands, kids.
Don't wash your hands. Be cool like me. Or not. I really have a depressing life, kids.
Yeah. Well, see you in 2 weeks. Later.
Goodbye.
Late. You are an achievement whore.